Everyone thinks Florida waterfront living costs a fortune. Oceanfront condos, beachside estates, coastal mansions with seven-figure price tags. That's the story, right? Here's what they're not telling you. The most affordable waterfront retirement in Florida isn't on the coast at all. It's inland, lake country, fresh water. And we're talking actual lakefront homes, not condos, not timeshares, starting in the $200,000 range in some towns. 15 towns across Central Florida's lake regions are rewriting what retirement affordability looks like. Some have median home prices 30% below the state average. Others let you dock your boat at your doorstep for less than you'd pay for a landlocked house in most states. A few have cost of living indexes that are cheaper than the national average, which in Florida, no state income tax, no tax on Social Security, pensions, or retirement accounts, means your money goes further than almost anywhere else. We're covering the Chain of Lakes corridor in Polk County, the deep inland hideaways of Highlands County where healthcare is somehow better than in major metros, the Western Edge bargains in Citrus County with the lowest home prices in the entire state. By the end, you'll know exactly where to look, what each town costs, and which trade-offs matter. Here are 15 affordable Florida lake house towns retirees should know about. Inverness. Inverness wins on pure numbers. Median home price, $263,000. That's the lowest of all 15 towns we're covering. But it's not just the sticker price. Citrus County, where Inverness sits, has a Florida price level index of 91.52. That means the cost of everything, groceries, utilities, gas, services, runs about 9% cheaper than the national average. For context, Miami's index is 121. The town sits on Sala Apopka Lake in Lake Henderson. Quiet water, fishing, peaceful views. Nearly 40% of the population is 65 or older, so the infrastructure is built around retirees. HCA Florida Citrus Hospital is right there for healthcare. The community knows how to serve seniors because it's been doing it for decades. Now here's the catch. Citrus County has a high property tax millage rate, 8.9302 mils. But Florida's homestead exemption cuts up to $50,000 off your assessed value if you make the place your permanent residence. If you qualify for additional senior exemptions based on income, you can push that relief even further. The key is making sure you file for every exemption you're entitled to. Do that, and the tax burden becomes manageable. Skip it, and you're paying more than you should. Inverness is the baseline. If your priority is stretching retirement savings as far as they'll go, this is where you start looking. Dundee. Dundee comes in just behind Inverness on price. Median home value of $272,165. It's in Polk County, which has over 550 lakes, many of them connected in the famous Chain of Lakes system. Dundee sits near Lake Hamilton and smaller, less trafficked inland lakes. It's quiet. No commercial traffic, no tourist crowds, just water and small town life. This is the town for retirees who want seclusion without total isolation. You're not cut off from the world. Orlando and Tampa are both within an hour's drive via Interstate 4, but you're far enough removed that daily life feels slow and undisturbed. Polk County's median home value is around $301,417, so Dundee is running below even the local average. That positioning makes it one of the best deals in the Chain of Lakes corridor. The trade-off is simplicity. Dundee doesn't have resort amenities or big community centers. You're buying peace, not programming. If that's the priority, the price is hard to beat. Winter Haven. Winter Haven is the recreational heart of Polk County's lake system. The Chain of Lakes runs right through it. Connected waterways that let you boat and fish across multiple large lakes without trailering anywhere. Median home value here is $276,911. That's competitive for a town with this much water access. The healthcare setup is solid. Advent Health Lake Wales is nearby, holding a Leapfrog Group Hospital Safety Grade A rating and designated as a primary stroke center. That's a major advantage. Stroke response time matters, and having certified care this close is rare for a town at this price point. Winter Haven balances active lake recreation with low housing costs. You're not paying a premium for location because the entire region is water-rich. The town isn't trying to be exclusive or high-end. It's built for people who want to use the lakes, not just look at them. Lake Wales. Lake Wales sits on the Lake Wales Ridge, which gives it something unusual for Central Florida: elevation, actual hills. The topography creates scenic views that you don't see in the flat inland areas. Median home prices here are estimated around $280,000, keeping it in line with the affordable Polk County cluster. The town's defining feature is Bok Tower Gardens. Historic, elevated, cultural. It's a refined attraction that draws visitors but doesn't overwhelm the local character. Residents describe Lake Wales as friendly, polite, small-town charm with high community ratings. That reputation for livability matters when you're choosing where to spend 20 or 30 years. Like Winter Haven, Lake Wales has access to Advent health facilities, so healthcare quality doesn't take a hit. The combination of scenic setting, cultural amenities, and reliable medical infrastructure makes this a well-rounded option for retirees who want more than just water access. Auburndale. Auburndale's median home value is $308,305, the highest so far in the Polk County list, but there's a reason. It sits near the Interstate 4 corridor, giving it faster access to both Orlando and Tampa. That positioning matters if you're commuting regularly for medical specialists, shopping, or family visits. The slight price increase buys convenience. The town provides lake access through Lake Ariana and Lake Maddie. You're still in the chain of lake system, so the recreational benefits are intact. What you're really paying for is reduced travel time. If you need to get to a major metro frequently, Auburndale saves you the hassle of navigating secondary roads. Polk County's property tax structure applies here too. Total non-school millage rate of 9.1272 mils. Combined with the homestead exemption and any senior-specific reductions, the tax load stays predictable. Auburndale is the calculated choice for retirees who want lake access but refuse to sacrifice proximity to larger cities. Lakeland. Lakeland's citywide median sale price hit $322,000 last month. That's higher than the other Polk towns, but affordability here works differently. The play is manufactured home communities designed specifically for active adults 55 and older. Cypress Lakes Village is the prime example. Manufactured homes, often using land lease models, which keeps entry costs low. The community is built around golf, 36 holes at Big Cypress Golf Club. There's a 5,000 square foot fitness center and a clubhouse designed for social engagement. Residents consistently say the main appeal isn't the structure or the amenities, it's the social network, the friendships, the neighbors, the community life. This model flips the traditional lakefront equation. Instead of buying an expensive waterfront lot and building or buying a standalone house, you're buying into a system where the amenities and recreation are shared. For retirees who value daily golf, organized activities, and a built-in social structure, this delivers better value than an isolated traditional home at the same price. Sebring. Sebring is the county seat of Highlands County, population under 12,000. The cost of living here runs noticeably lower than the Polk County towns, with home values estimated in the mid-200s. The town sits near Lake Jackson, surrounded by parks and golf courses. Here's what makes Highlands County unusual. Despite being deeply inland and rural, the area has over 200 healthcare establishments. That density is rare. Advent Health and HCA Florida Highlands Hospital both serve the region, and multiple facilities have earned top safety ratings. For a remote location, the medical infrastructure is disproportionately strong. Sebring offers essential services, a historic downtown, museums, and art galleries. It's not trying to be a resort town, it's a hub, a practical base where retirees can access healthcare, shopping, and recreation without the noise and expense of larger metros. The lower cost of living compounds daily. You're saving on housing, food, utilities, and services, which adds up fast on a fixed income. The 200 healthcare establishments include specialists, cardiology, orthopedics, physical therapy, diagnostic imaging. You're not limited to general practitioners. The medical community built up here specifically because of the high retiree population. Doctors know their patient base skews older and have adapted their practices accordingly. Sebring is far enough inland that hurricane risk drops significantly compared to coastal areas. You're not in the direct strike zone for most tropical systems. Storm surge doesn't apply. Flooding is less of a concern. Insurance costs reflect that reduced risk, which shows up in lower annual premiums compared to coastal Florida properties. The town hosts the Sebring International Raceway, which brings motorsports events and tourism revenue without turning the area into a theme park town. The economic boost supports local businesses and keeps services diverse, but the event schedule is limited enough that it doesn't create year-round tourist congestion. Lake Placid. Lake Placid sits just south of Sebring, surrounded by Lake Placid and Lake June. The cost of living remains low. Independent senior living here averages $2,823 per month, which is competitive or cheaper than surrounding regions. The town is known as the Town of Murals for its public art. But beyond aesthetics, Lake Placid has organized community life. Social clubs, recreational groups, tennis associations, youth baseball leagues that bring families and retirees together. That level of engagement signals a town that functions as a real community, not just a collection of houses. The medical safety net is immediate. Florida Hospital Heartland Medical Center at Lake Placid sits 0.1 miles from the town center. That proximity is critical for emergency response. If something goes wrong, you're not waiting 30 minutes for an ambulance to reach you and another 30 to get you to care. You're there in minutes. The mural culture here isn't just tourist marketing, it's genuine community pride. Local artists create the pieces. Residents vote on themes and locations. The murals get maintained and updated regularly. Walking downtown feels like an outdoor gallery, which gives the town a distinctive character that goes beyond generic Florida small-town aesthetics. Lake Placid also has a surprising number of small festivals and community events throughout the year. Nothing massive, but regular activities that bring people together. If you're someone who needs structured social opportunities to meet people, the town provides those naturally without requiring you to join expensive clubs or organizations. The lakes here are cleaner and less developed than some of the more popular Polk County chains. Less boat traffic means better fishing and more wildlife. You'll see wading birds, alligators, otters. If your vision of lake living includes nature observation and not just recreation, Lake Placid delivers that quieter experience. Sun and Lake. Sun and Lake isn't a traditional town, it's a planned community within the Sebring metro area. It's gated, resort-focused, and built around structured recreation. The recreation complex features a heated lagoon-style pool, a modern fitness center with extended hours, and the Racket Club, which offers 8 dedicated pickleball courts, 8 shuffleboard courts, and tennis courts. This setup appeals to retirees who want predictability. No guessing about what's nearby. No worrying about safety. Everything is designed for active adult living, and the gated structure keeps it controlled. Pricing varies depending on home size and location within the community, but the overall cost-based benefits from Highlands County's low general expenses. Sun and Lake is the choice for retirees who prioritize organized activities and don't want to manage property maintenance on their own. The trade-off is less autonomy. You're inside a planned system, but the payoff is convenience and guaranteed access to facilities. The pickleball courts matter more than you'd think. Pickleball exploded in popularity among retirees over the past 5 years, and having 8 dedicated courts means you're not fighting for court time. The sport is social, low impact, and competitive enough to stay interesting. Communities with robust pickleball facilities attract active retirees who want daily exercise that doesn't feel like a chore. The lagoon pool is heated year-round, which extends the swimming season. Even in January, when overnight temperatures can dip into the 40s, the pool stays warm enough for water aerobics and lap swimming. For retirees with joint issues, water-based exercise is often the only comfortable option, and having that available daily is a major health advantage. Sun and Lake also has an active social calendar managed by the community. Theme nights, potlucks, holiday parties, group trips. If you're moving to Florida without an existing social network, these programmed events make it easier to meet people. The structure removes the awkwardness of trying to make friends organically. Avon Park. Avon Park is one of the quietest, most budget-friendly options in the entire lineup. Home values here are estimated in the low to mid 200s. The town sits near Lake Verona, known for fishing and tranquility. It's classic small-town Florida, slow pace, minimal commercial development, no tourist pressure. This is the town for retirees who actively seek isolation. Not loneliness, but separation from crowded, high-traffic areas. You're still close enough to Sebring to access the 200 healthcare establishments and major shopping when needed, but daily life is defined by peace and low cost. Avon Park maximizes affordability. If your retirement income is tight and your priority is stretching every dollar while living near water, this is the answer. No frills, no resort features, just low expenses and quiet lake views. Lake Verona isn't large or famous, which works in its favor. No jet skis, no party boats, no weekend crowds from Orlando. Just local fishermen and the occasional kayaker. The fishing here is productive. Largemouth bass, bluegill, crappie. You can catch dinner regularly without specialized equipment or a big boat. Avon Park also benefits from proximity to South Florida State College, which offers continuing education and community programs for seniors. Workshops, lectures, arts classes. If you want to stay mentally engaged without the pressure of formal degree programs, the college provides accessible options. The town has a small but functional downtown with local businesses that have been there for decades. A hardware store that still cuts keys and mixes paint. A diner that opens early for breakfast. A family-owned pharmacy where the pharmacist knows your name. That old-school small-town infrastructure still exists here because the economy never boomed enough to replace it with chains. Leesburg. Leesburg operates in Lake County, where the waterfront home median listing price hits $400,000. That's a steep jump, but affordability here comes through the same strategy as Lakeland. 55-plus manufactured home communities with marina access. Lake Griffin Harbor Village is the model. Manufactured homes priced well below traditional lakefront properties, but the community includes an on-site marina. Boat slips, boat launches, direct fishing access. For retirees who own a boat or plan to fish regularly, this is the most affordable path to a functional waterfront lifestyle. You're not paying $400,000 for private lake frontage. You're paying a fraction of that for guaranteed access to the same water. Lake County contains over 1,000 named lakes and 202 square miles of water. The region is built around lake recreation, and these communities unlock that access without requiring massive upfront investment. Leesburg also falls within the Advent Health Central Florida North region, where all 6 hospitals recently earned a safety ratings from the Leapfrog Group. Healthcare quality is locked in. The marina model solves a major problem with traditional lakefront living, slip fees, and maintenance. When you own lakefront property, you're responsible for dock upkeep, seawall maintenance, and erosion control. That costs thousands annually. In a marina community, those expenses are built into the HOA fees and spread across all residents. You get the benefit without the individual burden. Lake Griffin is a productive fishing lake. Bass tournaments happen regularly. The fish population is healthy and well managed by state wildlife officials. If you're serious about fishing, having a boat slip 50 feet from your front door means you can be on the water in 5 minutes whenever the bite is active. Leesburg has a revitalized downtown waterfront district with restaurants, shops, and a public boardwalk. It's walkable, active, and has enough variety to stay interesting. For retirees who want social options beyond their immediate community, Leesburg offers that without requiring a drive to Orlando. Eustis. Eustis sits among nature preserves near Lake Eustis, offering a serene mid-range environment in Lake County. The cost of senior living here is competitive, with facilities like Lake Ridge Village providing all-inclusive models focused on comfort and connection. This town appeals to retirees who want a balance, natural beauty without total isolation, supportive community services without the density of large planned developments. Eustis is quieter than areas near the villages, but more developed than the deep Highlands County towns. It's a middle ground for retirees who value proximity to a major lake and access to structured senior living options without feeling overwhelmed by crowds. The nature preserves around Eustis protect the shoreline and maintain wildlife habitat. That means the lake views stay undeveloped and natural rather than lined with houses and docks. You get the visual beauty of Florida's original landscape without having to own waterfront property yourself. Eustis also has a small historic district with antique shops and local galleries. It's not a major tourist draw, which keeps it authentic. Retirees who enjoy browsing, collecting, or just window shopping have options within walking distance of residential areas. Lake Eustis is large enough for sailing, which sets it apart from the smaller fishing lakes in Polk and Highlands counties. If you're a sailor or want to learn, this is one of the few affordable Florida lake towns where that's practical. The sailing community here is active and welcoming to newcomers. Tavares. Tavares is a higher-end option in Lake County with modern 55-plus communities starting in the $400,000 range, aligning with the county's waterfront median. The town is known as the Seaplane City for its water-based aviation culture centered around Lake Harris. New communities like Crestwind at Lake Harris target active adults with resort-style amenities, clubhouse, fitness center, tennis, pickleball. The homes are modern, low-maintenance, designed for retirees who want contemporary construction and guaranteed amenities. You're paying a premium compared to Polk or Highlands County, but you're getting newer infrastructure, a unique waterfront identity, and proximity to Lake County's extensive water network. Tavares is the choice for retirees who can budget for the higher entry cost and want a modern, active adult community with a distinctive small-town appeal. The seaplane base is functional, not just historical. Pilots still fly in and out regularly. Watching seaplanes take off and land on Lake Harris is part of daily life here. If you're an aviation enthusiast or just appreciate unique local culture, Tavares delivers something you won't find in generic Florida retirement towns. Crestwind and similar communities feature new construction with the latest building codes, hurricane-resistant design, and energy-efficient systems. If you're selling a newer home up north and don't want to downgrade to older Florida housing stock, Tavares offers comparable modernity. The town hosts a regular seaplane fly-in event that draws pilots from across the region. It's not a massive tourist event, but it creates a sense of identity and pride that makes Tavares feel distinct. Community identity matters when you're trying to feel at home in a new place. Lady Lake. Lady Lake sits immediately adjacent to the villages, benefiting from the infrastructure and commercial development that serves the massive nearby senior population. Home values here are estimated in the mid-300s. The primary draw is safety. Lady Lake explicitly advertises a very low crime rate. For retirees, that documented security is a major quality of life factor. Proximity to the villages means access to extensive shopping, dining, and services without living inside the main development. You get the convenience without the density. Lady Lake also provides central access to Lake County's 1,000-plus water bodies, so recreational options are abundant. This town appeals to retirees who prioritize safety and convenience over absolute lowest cost. The slightly higher home prices buy peace of mind and immediate access to senior-focused infrastructure. The Villages is the largest retirement community in the United States, which means the commercial infrastructure around it is exceptional. Grocery stores, pharmacies, medical offices, restaurants, everything is designed with senior accessibility in mind. Wide aisles, good lighting, ample parking, staff trained to assist older customers. Lady Lake lets you tap into that infrastructure without the HOA fees and deed restrictions that come with living inside the Villages itself. You can shop at the same stores, eat at the same restaurants, and use the same medical facilities, but your housing costs stay lower and you maintain more autonomy over your property. The low crime rate isn't just marketing. Lake County Sheriff's Office statistics back it up. Violent crime is nearly non-existent. Property crime rates are well below state averages. For retirees worried about vulnerability, especially those living alone, that security is worth the slightly higher home prices. Groveland. Groveland represents a growth play in the southwestern corner of Lake County. Median home prices here are estimated in the upper 300s. The town centers around Lake David, which offers public access and hosts local community events. Groveland is experiencing rapid development, newer public infrastructure, recently built homes, modern community facilities. For retirees who prioritize contemporary amenities and updated housing stock, this growth is an advantage. The location ensures easy connectivity to the commercial hubs of Claremont and Orlando, offering metropolitan resources without daily congestion. Groveland is the future-focused choice. You're buying into a town that's expanding now, which means newer construction, better roads, and more services coming online. If you value modernity over established charm, this is where to look. The growth here is planned, not chaotic. New developments include parks, trails, and recreational facilities as part of the construction. You're not moving into a half-finished town, you're moving into communities that are being built with retiree needs in mind from the start. Lake David hosts community events like fishing tournaments and waterfront festivals. The town is actively building identity and culture as it grows, which means you can be part of shaping what Groveland becomes, rather than moving into a place with decades of established tradition. Groveland's location on the western edge of the Orlando metro means you're close enough for convenience but far enough to avoid the worst of the traffic and congestion. You can reach Orlando International Airport in 45 minutes outside of rush hour. You can access world-class healthcare at Orlando Health facilities without living in an urban environment. 15 towns, 3 distinct value clusters. The absolute lowest entry points are in Citrus and Highlands counties, Inverness, Dundee, Avon Park, where home prices and daily expenses run below almost anywhere else in the state. The balanced middle ground sits in Polk County, Winter Haven, Lake Wales, Auburndale, where you get chain of lakes access and proximity to Orlando and Tampa without isolation. The amenity-rich options are in planned communities across Lakeland, Sebring, Leesburg, and Tavares, where manufactured home models and 55-plus developments deliver marina access, golf, pickleball, and structured social life at prices well below traditional lakefront. Florida's tax structure applies everywhere. No state income tax, no tax on Social Security or retirement accounts, homestead exemptions up to $50,000, additional senior breaks if you qualify. That foundation makes all 15 towns work financially. The real decision is what you prioritize: lowest possible cost, proximity to major cities, or guaranteed recreational amenities. The Polk County market is cooling right now. Home values down 4.6% over the past year, 61% of sales closing under list price. That's a buyer's window. If you're moving with cash or strong financing, negotiation power is on your side. Highlands County delivers the deepest cost of living savings, but the 200 healthcare establishments in the region mean you're not sacrificing medical access. Lake County's manufactured communities solve the waterfront premium problem by giving you shared marina access instead of private lake frontage. None of these towns require you to choose between affordability and safety or healthcare and budget. The infrastructure is there, the medical networks are rated, the crime rates in places like Lady Lake are documented as very low. Lakefront retirement in Florida isn't a fantasy reserved for people with coastal money. It's a calculated choice available to retirees willing to look inland, understand the trade-offs, and pick the town that fits their specific priorities. The water's real, the prices are real, the tax savings are real. The question is which combination of cost, location, and lifestyle fits your retirement plan. You've got 15 proven options where retirees are already living the lakefront life without draining their savings. The towns exist, the infrastructure works, the only thing left is deciding which lake you want to wake up to.